Hey guys, how's it going? Lewis Harding Investor here and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be going through Rio Tinto stock, analysing the stock and working out if the company is worth buying or not. Let's get straight into it. Who are Rio Tinto? So Rio Tinto Group is an Anglo-Australian multinational and the world's second largest metals and mining corporation, behind BHP. So they produce iron ore, copper, diamonds, gold and uranium. So the company was founded way back when in 1873, so they've been around for a very long time. After hundreds of years of mergers and acquisitions, it managed to place itself as one of the world leaders in the production of many commodities, aluminium, iron ore, copper, uranium and diamonds, like I said before. The main focus for Rio Tinto is iron ore, and that's what they're most famous for. The company itself, as you can see from the Wikipedia extract, they are listed in London and Melbourne. So they're a very big company, listed in the Forbes Global 2000, and as well they're the 140th largest publicly listed company in the world. So they're a pretty big company, really. In the recent news, we've had a lot of stick. They are well known for destroying some Aboriginal caves in Australia, so they did not get some good news for that, and for obvious reasons. And they've also been touted for being bad for the environment by the government of Norway, so it means that their big pension fund has excluded them from their investments. Now moving on to the sales breakdown, and as you can see, iron ore makes the vast majority of their sales, and then coming in second is aluminium, and then the copper and the diamonds, etc. is after. So yeah, this business's main focus is iron, and I can assume it will be affected by the iron ore spot price. They made the majority of their sales in China, so they have a hell of a lot of mines in China. And the fun fact for you, the Chinese aluminium state-owned company actually owns about 14-15% of Rio Tinto, so that is an interesting point to note out, because they do have big interest in China, as you can see from the sales breakdown. The US and Asia make up a lot of sales as well. Now let's have a look at the income statement for Rio Tinto, and to be fair, pretty consistent company really. So the net sales usually stay very steady, just tickety-boo, keep going up each time. But then you can see analyst estimates for 2021, a major spike. So this is because of a commodity boom in 2020 and 21. It looks like Rio Tinto are going to report some amazing results. And then in the coming years, when commodity prices do settle, the sales will come back down to normal. But in the short term, this is really good for Rio Tinto shareholders, because it looks like the shareholders will receive dividends, because the cash flows will be absolutely massive, as you'll see in the next bit. The net income stays very steady. The net margin is always pretty high. As long as commodity prices stay at a decent level, these mining companies make good money. I like net margins above 10, mainly above 20% really, and you can see we're above that 20% mark. So really good stuff really from the income statement. Now moving on to the balance sheet for Rio Tinto, and the net debt is the first line. So let's have a quick look at that, and it looks like they are going to eradicate all of their debt, mainly due to the cash flows they're going to produce in 21. So that is fantastic. We're in a net cash position, so fantastic stuff really, and you can't ask for much more than that. The free cash flow is looking juicy as well for 2021. Shareholders must be very happy with that. But then just going into the future, it's looking really good for this business, and the return on equity is great in the high 20s. What can I say? The company is looking really strong, and we've got enough cash flow to pay for dividends and buy back shares, so all good stuff really from me. Right, so I've put Rio Tinto through my analysis checklist. So this is a Excel sheet I put all of my stocks through before I consider buying it, and it's just a simple 4-pillar process, which I make sure all the financials are in order, and I review the management as well. For speed's sake, to keep these videos short, I do not include pillar 2 for the management, because that is quite a lengthy process to read annual reports, etc., and it's not very exciting for YouTube at all. Rio Tinto market cap of 147. I think that's in US dollars. It probably is, because I had a look earlier and it was like 100 billion pounds. Current price £62.57, and then the PE ratio of 8. Very low PE, and I think that's based on the recent earnings they have just announced. Pillar 1, profitable, high returns on capital using low leverage. Everything is ticked here. Great margins, great return on equity, little to no debt, and then yeah, the current ratio smashed it as well. So yeah, fantastic stuff. Can't ask for much more. Now looking at pillar 3, so reinvestment opportunities, room to grow, acquisitions, dividends and share buybacks. So yeah, it's all green here as well. For revenue growth, free cash flow growth, profit growth, retained earnings growth, and it's had a decrease in share count, a nice juicy dividend, and we've had great acquisitions in the past as well. But I need to put a bit of an asterisk on this. So basically 10 years ago their sales were actually higher than now, and I think this is mainly to do with commodity prices. So when commodity prices are high or at a certain level, Rio Tinto does really well, and in the past it has made losses some years, which must be to do when commodities are lower, so it means we don't get enough sales in. But yeah, this is something as an investor you need to weigh up. Do you think commodity prices are going to stay at a good level so Rio Tinto can make profits and cash flows? Yeah, we will have to see, but I will probably put an asterisk on there, and it's something you do need to have a really good look at if you're looking at Rio Tinto as a company. And then yeah, buy at a fair price. So at current prices, at the current PE and price to free cash flow, going into the next few years, I personally think it's at a very decent price. So currently it's around the fair value for a 10% return based on my assumptions. So yeah, it's looking really interesting. So let's move on to the DCF calculation to see how we've got to that price of £63. Now let's have a look at the DCF calculation. So as you can see, the numbers which really do stand out is the free cash flow for 21. It is over double 2020. So this is a real blip it's a real anomaly really, due to the commodity boom, and Rio Tinto are really benefiting from this. And then it will resettle back down in 22 and 23. But yeah, at a 10% return, you're looking at a share price of £62.89, and that's adjusted for cash as well. So at current levels, Rio Tinto is looking like a really interesting opportunity, with the world stock market averaging 7 to 10% a year, probably lower at current levels. I think Rio Tinto is a very interesting pick. My thoughts on Rio Tinto are that I think clearly financially it's a great company and it makes a lot of profit, cash flows. It's got a really good balance sheet with limited debt, so that's all good. And I think ultimately it comes down to, do you think commodity prices are going to stay at a certain level? Do you think inflation is here to stay? Because if commodity prices stay at a certain level, Rio Tinto is going to make good money and good profits. And alongside all of this, we've got a really good dividend. So if you are a dividend investor, I know a lot of people do invest solely for dividends. This is not something I really do, because I just see a dividend as a distribution of cash flows. Either you can reinvest in the business, etc., or you get it paid out to you. But I do. It is a really nice fact that they do pay out a decent dividend, and all I do really is I just reinvest it back into the company. So I buy more shares with whatever dividends I get. So yeah, it's an interesting opportunity, and I think the main thing with this one, like I said, you need to do some research on commodity prices, and when the commodity prices have been low, how has Rio Tinto performed? But over the next few years, it looks like they are going to do very well. So yeah, a very interesting pick. And yeah, full disclaimer, I do own shares in Rio Tinto, so I might be a little bit biased. There we have it. That's my analysis of Rio Tinto. So I hope that was really useful to you all, and I hope it was short and snappy enough. As always, please take everything with a pinch of salt. I've said I'm an amateur investor. I'm no expert at all and not a financial advisor. So yeah, don't take this as financial advice. And yeah, please read my disclaimer in the description below. And yeah, so if you enjoy investing and you want more investing content, please subscribe to my weekly newsletter, The Harding Herald. So I release this every Monday or Tuesday. It's the top 4 or 5 stories of the week in the world of investing and finance, and it's just a bite-sized format. I make some comments on different things which have happened over the past week. So always an interesting read, and I get good feedback on it. So yeah, please subscribe to that. The link is in the bio. And yeah, as well as that, I've just started my own Patreon. So for £5 per month, you get full Discord benefits, be a part of the community. You get to chat to me about stocks and other investments, what I'm looking at, what stocks I'm looking at, what other investments I'm looking at, and we can just have a good chat. It's a place where like-minded individuals come together, and we can just all work together and do well as investors, really. So yeah, please subscribe to my Patreon, join the club, it's down in the description below. So yeah, thank you very much for watching today's video. If you have enjoyed it, please leave a like and a comment, as it really does help me out. And if you are new around here, please subscribe to the channel. And yeah, so thank you very much for watching today's video. I will see you next time.